Michael cracking me up already. How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny. Oh, I love, dude. That's a good look for you, Jess. Right there. If you just stay there like the entire time this video is going, that would make me so happy. And lots of people.
So good to be here in very fine condition.
You already look 10 times smarter. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar, and with me I have a round table of guests that are going to be joining me for this DC catalog. Again, this is the catalog, not the solicit, so keep that in mind. I'll explain what that is here in a second. To my right is this gentleman right here. This is
Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault. Thank you for having me on very fine condition this Thursday morning.
Insults already. And you can also find him on Omnibros.
Omnibros.
I don't know why he doesn't push that. He forgets about that channel. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Below me is this gentleman right here, Aaron. Aaron's never been on a video with us, but he is the gentleman that helps me with the DC and Marvel solicits or for upcoming collected editions every month whenever I do that video, and he's the one that I give a shout out to. So I'm happy to have him here. How's it going, Aaron?
It's going well. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. I'm glad you're here. And this gentleman down here is from Dying Breed Collectors. Who are you?
What's up, dude? I'm Johnny from Dying Breed Collectors, as you said. I'm a comic retailer, seller, reseller kind of guy, and I like talking comic books with my homies, so I'm here. You had me
and
on.
Not paying off bets from a year ago with a Mets fan. Where's my coffee gift card?
It's coming to you today, actually. You're going to follow up that cranberry juice because I told you, yes, I got to have my wife send it to you, which is embarrassing. I can't log into my account to send it to myself. I really tried yesterday and I can't.
Yeah.
To give her the cash, but
you had it all set up, and I still never got my.
I know it was perfect.
But I won in June of last year or something.
It was not June. It was
it was April. Yeah, we're almost been a year.
Are you two done? Can we go on with the show?
Yeah, let's steer it all towards the unreliable.
Wow, look at this! Woohoo! Favorite channel and favorite seller on the stream together. I didn't know Aaron sold stuff. Aaron, you sell stuff? Because I know he ain't talking about me and Johnny. He's got to be talking about Jess and this guy.
Favorite show, favorite seller. There you go.
That's exactly what it is. Good morning, everyone. Savage Avengers Omni with the Finch cover already out of stock at IST. Glad I bought it on Tuesday. The Finch cover, is that's direct market, isn't it? No, that's the standard. Standard, right?
Is that this one?
Jess, why did you
cover
want that book? Only weighs like 2 pounds. I know you're not.
For some reason, it was stuck to the unbelievably huge Star Wars book underneath it.
Oh yeah, those Star Wars books are no joke. Well, look, somebody's got a fan in the chat. Leaf is here.
Nice.
I saw that earlier. Just saying hello.
Yes,
and my wife was here with a sweet little message. I love you, Omar. And I like Carlos's messages better, though. We all love Omar. Thank you for that.
Do we?
Yeah. Look, we all love Omar and all the hard work. Look at that. Thank you so much, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, we have a lot to talk about. Before going any further, though, smash that like button. Make sure while you're here, and if you're watching this later, that goes a long way for us. So since we have a lot to talk about, we got September, October, November, and December. We're looking at the DC catalog that's being uploaded, and it's still not done. I'm sure some things will pop up sometime here in the next couple of days, probably for December, maybe even November. And what the catalog is that's the first place that the publisher will send the information to, uploading images, uploading content. Keep in mind, sometimes these things are wrong, though. We've had books appear in the catalog that have just disappeared, and they were never properly solicited. So technically, they were never solicited, so they were never canceled. There are sometimes page number or page counts that are wrong, prices are wrong, and sometimes the fact that they're hardcover or softcover, sometimes that's been wrong in the past. So I always like to remind people, but this is step number one. After we get the catalog, we get the solicitations, and solicitations is when the publisher is ready to solicit these books for pre-order, and that's when we talk about the FOC, the final cutoff date, when you can pre-order books. And that's one step closer to getting these books to you. And then the next step is actually the printer printing these books and shipping them to the distribution centers, the retailers, and then to your hands. And Bob's your uncle. So let's go ahead and get started.
Uncle?
Yeah, my wife got me saying that. It's like a British thing, I think. She thought it was it was funny because she thought it was a Kentucky thing, and I'm like, that ain't no damn Kentucky thing. I was like, yes, it is. And then we had some people from the UK watching our show, and they were like, no, that's totally a British thing.
Yeah,
it was because her mom watched a lot of BBC or PBS growing up, and so did she.
See, on the comic channel, it should be Ben's your uncle, like an Uncle Ben reference. Ben's your uncle.
Oh, I like that. What's up, King?
Ben's your dead uncle.
I like that one.
What's good? What's good? All right. So no. So everything you hear today is wrong. Nothing to see here. People move along. Thank you for that, Taylor. Aren't you like social media guy? All right. Is Fanny your aunt? I think they say that's a thing too. Aunt
Fanny? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet as a nut. Omar is a Brit now. Am I? Is that all it takes? Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and start. And thank you to Aaron for helping me put this giant list together. So we made a slideshow to make this easier for people. The actual catalog can be found on PRH's website. It's a lot easier to go through now. You don't have to go through a lot, but you still have to go through some hurdles to get there, especially if you don't know what you're looking for. So we are starting in September. And the first book we're going to be talking about is Batman Under the Red Hood, the deluxe edition. This is a hardcover. Of course, it's the deluxe edition for $49.99, 544 pages. Now, if we don't have a content, it's because they didn't there is no content yet. That's another thing. Sometimes these things don't have content. So I'm assuming this is both of the Red Hood volumes put together in that one big fat trade they released a few years ago, and they're making it into a deluxe edition. Not a Red Hood omnibus, but it is the first appearance of Red Hood when he appeared during Judd Winnick's run. Do any of you have the Red Hood stuff? Because I really enjoyed this, and it should have the annual in there.
I have the two trades, and I remember reading this when it came out in singles, and I actually wondered who the Red Hood was. Who is that guy in the Red Hood?
Wait a minute. Wait, you forgot, or you're being serious?
No. When I was reading it, Red Hood if I recall correctly, Red Hood just shows up, and he just shows up and interacts with everybody. I'm like, and that was the big mystery for a while. Who is that under the Red Hood? Until you finally figure out who it is.
Funny enough, Ed Brubaker was writing a very similar story in the pages of Captain America with the Winter Soldier. So it was like a return of the sidekicks at the same time. And then both of them got shot. And both of them got to travel through time. It's very interesting, these things that just happen between Ed Brubaker and DC Comics. Joker, One Operation Joker. This is a manga. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't know DC was going back to publishing manga, which they've done in the past. But if you look at the price, it's $9.99 and September 5th. So 160 pages. So there you go, Jess. There is your introduction to manga. It's not the only one either.
Have you read that? Has anybody read that thing, The Joker? That seems interesting.
No, but
I haven't read a DC or Marvel manga in a long time. I read the Spider-Man manga because I really like the artist Ryoichi Ikegami, but I haven't read anything, not even the Deadpool stuff that they put out.
I was going to say, was that before the Deadpool, the Spider-Man one?
Oh, that was in the late 70s. That's when Stan Lee was trying to get Toei Animation to come over here and do Power Rangers. So they had to work out that deal. This is this one here is hit and miss for me. Like, I love Superman 78. Batman 89, I think, really missed what the point of these things were, or at least for me. But it's a really cool. Look at that box set, man. It's a VHS. They know their target audience.
That is cool.
It is a nice design.
The biggest reason I'm buying it is because of the aesthetic. It looks sweet.
Yeah.
Well, underneath the dust jacket, I don't know if you all own the hardcovers. It's a VHS. It looks like a VHS. So that's a really cool thing that they did. I like that.
Okay, can someone can you verify this for me real quick? The 6th issue of that did finally come out, right? Because there was like a huge gap between issue 5 and 6 of the Batman 89. Like,
it's
okay.
But this is just standard size hardcover. So unless it says deluxe, and I'm sorry, this is a trade paperback box set. Unless it says deluxe, then it will be a standard size. This was such a huge surprise, man. I am so excited about this, dude. Dude, you dug Batman 89? I wasn't a fan, man. I wasn't a fan, but I did like Superman though. I thought Superman was great. Batman Adventures, I was a big fan of this stuff. mainly because it was so lighthearted when everything else was dark happening in the Batman comics.
Mhm.
And this is the first appearance of Poison Ivy in comics too. So not Poison Ivy, I'm sorry.
Shut up.
Harley Quinn. I get them mixed up, Jess.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't
I
even
was about to
start.
say. I was like,
With
Why
Batman
do I come on this show?
to correct me. So have you all read
Poison
this?
Ivy.
I don't know if you all were fans of this stuff or not.
Yeah, I read most of it when it was coming out in the trade paperback format, and I really dug it. I kind of looked at it as like episodes that were written that weren't maybe quite good enough to be an episode, but they could do something with it. That's how I took it. They were enjoyable. The best? No, but quite enjoyable. Anybody else?
yeah, I read Mad Love, and I actually really enjoyed that one. And then the stories from Batman Black and White, I'm sure, are probably the ones drawn by Bruce Timm, written by Paul Dini, and so those were fun too. But it's actually before my time, so it's just kind of funny that it's actually getting made. But it looks interesting. It looks very interesting.
I'm very pleased with the content. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I'm glad that it's everything from the first run, like everything that they could include is there. So
1,200 pages, $150. Now you're going to see that price point fluctuate, though. It's like I thought that because of the recent announcements that they were sticking with $150, but some of the stuff from the Silver Age surprisingly is $100. Of course, less page count, but I'm glad to see that it's not just $150 across the border. I will say one of my favorite announcements I did, not that it meant anything to me, was the X-Men animated series adaptations. And the reason I was so excited about that, I thought, okay, if DC sees this, maybe they'll give us a Batman Adventures omnibus. And man, sure enough, like maybe it's been a little over a year since I announced it, but I made that comment on the video, and here we are with this. So very happy about that one. I don't know what this is. This is the Batman audio adventure.
Yeah, so this is kind of like the it's almost like a new radio show or a new version of the radio show, I guess. These have been very popular. This is the adaptation of the audio.
It's across the border is a Kentucky saying. I'm just going to blame my wife, just like Bob's your uncle. So it's an adaptation of the audio, kind of like what they did with Wolverine, right? Like there was that audio or podcast, I think, and they made it into a comic.
Yeah,
Very
the
nice.
exact same thing.
Gotham City Year One. This is a hardcover collection on sale. Anybody know anything about this?
it's Tom King, I think, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a 6-part series. I did a little bit of research before this, but that's about all I know. And it's currently coming out like right now, so it's kind of shocking that they have the collected edition announced. Or maybe it's not shocking at this point, but I don't think the whole series is even out yet in single issue. But
yeah, they've done that before, both Marvel and
Right.
DC.
Yeah.
And it should be standard size. This is Phil Hester, though, that guy that drew it, and he's done work for DC for a long time. Like he did a run on Green Arrow.
It's decent. That cover kind of gives me like a very little Tim Sale vibe, like a little bit. Maybe it's less with the color pattern, but it's cool artwork on the cover there.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. DC's War of the Undead Gods is getting a hardcover, so I don't know how much longer this series is going to go on.
This is the last one.
Ooh, looks like
Yeah.
it might be time for an omnibus then.
Well, you'll see later on. Oh, sorry, spoilers. But this is the last one, but we'll see.
This one's illustrated by Trevor Hairsine and Tom Taylor finishing out his run. Next up is Superman. Kal-El returns, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is that what the new series is called? The because this is the Philip Kennedy Johnson, Tom Taylor, and Mark Waid collecting. I think the remaining of Son of Kal-El, and then Action Comics. Yeah, 1047, and then the Kal-El Return special. Because I think it's not going to be called Superman anymore. He's getting a new book, isn't he?
John Kent is getting Adventures of Superman John Kent, and Superman has its own ongoing now again. So
okay,
Action
that's
is
what it's
kind of
called.
like Action's now more like a Superman family book.
They're gonna year one everything except for Aquaman, apparently, according to our buddy Geo.
Poor Geo.
Okay, this is the last miniseries. Somebody, Taylor has been teasing an omnibus. DC Ruby, I think that's how you pronounce it. This series. Jess is a huge fan of Ruby. Can you tell us a little bit about it, buddy? That's why I got you on the show.
Yeah, it's 4 letters from the alphabet, and they put them together to form DC RWBY.
Near mint condition, ladies and gentlemen, where you get information like this. Nowhere else has this kind of information.
I have no idea what Ruby is and why DC's with them. What is it?
Marvel, I think, no, Viz did a Ruby manga. I think it was and please correct me if I'm wrong. Let me see here. There was a thing that the original guy worked on called Dead Fantasy, which is like Dead or Alive meets Final Fantasy, and they're fighting like constantly. Like he made a series of videos, and then he created his own world called Ruby. And I think he's passed away since then. Like he died at a very young age. They made an animated series, and they made a series of manga, and now there's several crossovers. And now Rooster Teeth owns Ruby.
Yeah, this is kind of like a series. It's an anime where you have fairy tale characters reimagined as like almost superhero type characters. So I used to be a huge fan of the show back in the day. So
okay, so you did watch that, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jess, you would love Ruby. Check out the fan art. Not safe for work.
So it's an anime I can actually watch and understand.
Look,
oh my god!
You got your co-host here vouching for you. Jess loves manga with a capital.
Slandering me.
Loves
slander.
Oh man, ain't that the truth? We're gonna talk about that. Always an instigator. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. All right, let's keep going with Batman Justice Buster, Volume 1. When I saw that title, I'm like, holy crap, they're really going the manga route or anime route with these titles. And then I saw the cover, I'm like, oh, it's a manga. That's why. That actually makes sense. No idea what this is, but it looks like they're dipping their toes again in manga. So I don't know if it's original or if it's like, if it's been printed 10 years ago and now they're bringing it over. Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo, the deluxe edition. Somebody was just asking me, since Mark Silvestri hates deluxe edition oversized artwork, is there a chance that DC would do this in deluxe edition? And I said, yes, because this is Batman. Mark Silvestri can own Witchblade and Darkness and Cyberforce, but I don't think he has any say in how DC prints Batman. And sure enough, first of all, that's a huge surprise that they're actually going straight into the deluxe edition with this instead of cashing. Because usually it's like what, like standard size and trade paperback, and then deluxe edition, and then oversized hardcover. No matter what it is, like an absolute edition, maybe one day. I don't know.
Wait, so since this is Black Label, is it going to be the standard deluxe edition size? I know that was a redundant phrase. Or is it going to be like that magazine Black Label size? Remember when the Black Labels were like more square bound?
Yeah, I think it's going to be just regular deluxe edition size.
Okay.
Just from looking at this picture.
That makes sense. Good call.
What's up, Jeff? My dog had manga until he got a shot at the vet. Thank you for that. You and Jess would get along, actually. Nice to see the continuing rehabilitation of Warren Ellis. Hope to see one day the Wildstorm Omnibus. Fingers crossed. Well, I didn't even know about that. So good for him. Good for the people. DC making manga, Marvel making manga coming next year. Marvel Akira. Oh my gosh, we can dream. All right, Jess, here you go, buddy. Batman the Golden Age, Omnibus Volume 10, baby. Collecting Batman 86 to 100 and Detective Comics 211 to 232. $100, 688 pages. Jess, do you still have all of yours?
No, I sold them all a long time ago as part of the ongoing curating of my collection. Although this looks interesting to me, because those covers are all really boss.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they are.
All right.
I really would rather concentrate on the Silver Age stuff and get that going so we can get to the 68 through 74 period, 1968 to 1974, when Batman and Superman were super interesting compared to everything that came before them. That said, I might look at this and maybe get this because it just looks really good to me, and it looks small.
Okay, Jess, you
Readable.
know what's going to happen. You buy this, then you're going to have to go and find the rest of them because your friends
Ones
are
I
going
already sold.
your friends are going to make fun of you if they see a volume 10 on your bookshelf.
See, I don't have any friends. That's
I'm
the key.
coming over and I'm going to bust
No.
that. I'm gonna take
I'm
pictures of your
changing the
shelf.
locks.
I will shame you online. I think that's what the kids call it. Somebody was Arturo saying it's missing issue 85, but I think issue 85 was in volume 9 of the Golden Age. I did a little I sold mine a long time ago, so I don't think I even made it to 5. I think I had the first 4, and I was like, well, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So I did a little research before doing this video, and I think this, volume 9 has Batman 76 through 85, unless that's a mistake.
Was this solicited, or sorry, was that solicited before at one point? Because I had assumed when they announced Silver Age 1 that they had finished out the Golden Age. I guess I never looked at the content. So
No.
It never was. Okay.
This is brand
So
new.
Yeah.
Okay, but it will connect the two 9 and then Silver Age 1, right? That's the gap filler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Silver Age had been solicited and then they took it out. I think is what happened.
Oh, okay, and then it came back and got printed, and now it's real. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and that was
Okay, I think there. What did the Can you go back to where it goes? The Batman goal.
Yeah.
86 to 100. Yeah, and then the Silver Age. That's when the Silver Age starts. Right after this one.
yeah.
Okay. So this is the one that wasn't. I don't think it was previously solicited. We might have heard about it.
Well, yeah, I might be thinking of that
Right.
Silver Age 1, like you're saying.
All right, Jess, look at this title: Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats. It's got like 2 of your favorite words in there: Harley Quinn and Legion. Three of your favorite words. You have to buy this.
I am the most excited for this easily. I didn't even know it was a thing, so I can't wait to get it and put it right in the Harley Quinn section right there. Nice.
All right.
September can't come soon enough.
Shazam! Power of Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one that's been collected before as a single hardcover, single trade, and it's part of that Paul Dini obscure in size absolute edition of DC superheroes, but now it's coming out separately. I'm assuming because of the movie. It's a beautiful book if you've not read it. Alex Ross doing the artwork, but Paul Dini writing the story. It's a great jumping on point for Captain Marvel.
That's right.
GCPD, the Blue Wall. I know nothing about this one. This one is a hardcover, $24.99.
This one is written by John Ridley.
You like John Ridley?
Yeah, and I've heard this one actually is not bad compared to his I Am Batman run. So this is about corruption in the GCPD, and I think that's Renee Montoya going through to try and weed out the corruption. So
Okay. I can kind of see Renee there. I do too. She get a bunch of paper cuts. Is that what's going on in that cover? On that cover. Batman Incorporated is back, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Volume 1, No More Teachers. So Batman Incorporated, of course, during Grant Morrison's era on Batman, but this one here is by John Timms or Ed Brisson. Ed Brisson and Timms is doing the artwork. And this collects Batman Incorporated 1 through 7. I didn't even know this was a new series.
No, me either.
No, it looks like this one spins out of the Abyss arc from Joshua Williamson's short run on Batman, because I think he reformed Batman Incorporated there.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. And one big one that I know it's not the one that everybody wants, but it's a good start, and that is Batman Nightfall Omnibus Volume 1. This is the new edition. I don't know if they're going to stop calling them the 2023 editions anymore, or if they're going to call them just new editions from now on. But Nightfall is coming back to print. And
new price point, though, right? That's definitely $25 to $50 more than the original printing, right?
I think the original printing was $125, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's $150. So this collects. I'm assuming based on the page count, it's the exact same page count as the previous printing. So it'll have Batman 484 to 500, Shadow of the Bat 16 through 18, Vengeance of Bane #1, Detective Comics 654 to 666, and then Showcase 93, 7, and 8. And I think you are right though. It's $25 more, but Volume 3 is the big one that I know a lot of people wanted. But this is a start because this one's also out of print.
Right, because like I know we're gonna get there, but like the Preacher Absolutes, like it's listed Volume 1 and now 2, and I think they did that with Transmetropolitan Absolutes. So I would assume that the Volume 2 and 3 will follow this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think it's the same. With the new price.
I would think so, but here we go.
Yeah, I just know. Yeah,
I'm just surprised they didn't do another cover though. I love Kelly Jones, but I was not a fan of those covers.
The spines are awful too. They should do something with the spine. It looks like they should make one image and they don't.
Well, that's always been a problem with Marvel and DC whenever they do a big wraparound cover, right? Like the spine is this awkward like butt shot of like Thanos or like somebody's face is like half on the spine. It was Heroes Reborn, I think, that had like maybe it was Sue Storm, like one of her boobs, and it was just anytime you have a big wraparound cover, it's always going to be an issue whenever you put it on. Like it looks really nice, but I can't imagine too many people showcasing or putting the book on the shelf with the entirety of the front board, back board, and the spine.
Makes sense underneath the dust jacket. I'll leave it at that.
Yes, Michael Edmond, thank you for that. The spine, like Batman's, it's broken. That was your fault, Justin. The butt shot of Thanos was a specific request from Big-Star. Oh well, I mean, if it was your my bad. That's I wasn't judging. Another one of Jess's favorite genre right here, Superman versus Meshy. This looks like books you would read, Jess.
Versus Meshy. I've waited all my life to not say this.
Dude,
who's Meshy?
This is like a Silver Age comic. How could you not be excited about reading this?
He's eating a bowl of rice, and is Meshy like some kind of villainous tofu dish behind him, or what's going on here?
I don't know, but it's published by DC and Kodansha, it looks like. So you're gonna find out in September. Batman and Robin Eternal Omnibus. Holy crap, I can't believe we're actually getting this. Like, this is a big surprise.
This is
not
awesome.
Because it's freaking amazing or anything. Actually, the story is just okay. But still excited for complete's sake. Like, this is the story that follows up Batman Eternal. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was only 24 issues, right?
26.
26, thank you. 26 issues. So 624 pages, $100. So I'm glad that, like I said, the 150 is not across the board. But
I must be the outlier. I really liked Batman and Robin Eternal. It took me a while to find the two trades. I feel like it's gonna be a really small Omni. It says 624 pages. I mean, the two trades I don't want to do that because James is gonna screen cap me doing this.
Jess, they can't all be your Squirrel Girl Omnibus, right? They can't be that.
Oh my god. I'm excited though for this because I think it's great. It took me forever to find the trades, but this is a case where I will be happy to upgrade it.
Were you talking about that Superman book? Because I'm curious about those two. Do you think we'll ever get a Dark Knight Detective Cape Crusader Omnibus when all the trades have been printed? I hope we get a series of Omnis after the trades. But then again, I've been hoping for Man of Steel since those hardcovers have been out. And I don't know. I mean, it looks like they're getting their stuff together. We have surprises like this.
Yeah.
So anything is possible with DC. The Joker, the man who stopped laughing, collecting all 6 issues of this. Is this a follow-up? I'm sorry, it's probably not, but it looked like a follow-up to the Batman Damned because of the art.
Yeah.
Matthew Rosenberg.
It also reminds me of that Azzarello solo Joker story from like 09 or something, maybe a little earlier. It's got similar art to that too. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yeah, I get those vibes from there too. Yeah. But it's Matthew Rosenberg writing this story, so probably not.
No.
Batman, dude, I just started reading the first volume of this, and it's so good.
It really is.
Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Volume 2, Strange Visitor. And the first volume is by Mark Waid, and Dan Mora. And this collects issues 6 through 10. And I believe they still continue on into this particular volume, if I'm not mistaken.
They do.
Yeah.
Awesome. And this is coming out in standard size hardcover. DC versus Vampires All Out War. Somebody was telling me, this is part 2. Somebody was telling me that this was actually a fun book.
I think Lou has been reading this and said that this was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Like from last year, he's been reading it and said that it's, I don't know about All Out War, but the original DC versus Vampires, he was saying it's really a lot of fun.
I think Americans are more into anime now. We have just come around. Yeah, I think that's a safe statement. I think there was a big boom in the early aughts. Like everything was anime, which is great because as somebody that's been watching anime since the early 80s, I was hoping that
Nerd.
I'm sorry, what's that? Go back and read your Superman versus Meshi, you jerk. Batman, the Golden Age, Omnibus. Now's your chance, Jess.
Here's your chance to get it again.
That's right. This is you get volume 10, you buy the reprint of volume 1, dude. It's a win-win for you, Jess.
Somebody in the chat was just asking for this to be reprinted, so here it is.
This should collect. Let me look at make sure the page count is the same, but it's 824 pages. I used to own this one.
This is I actually wouldn't mind getting this again because this is when he was like killing people, like, and just when they were still formed, he was still being kind of like Superman at the same time. He went through different phases, and he started out just terrorizing and killing people and stuff, and that was really cool.
He also smoked a pipe, which I thought was interesting for a guy who was he could run across buildings and stuff, but he went home and smoked a pipe.
And a smoking jacket.
That's right, yeah. But dude, the first few issues are readable. They're very okay. They're good.
Yeah.
100%.
So, Jenna, I see that too. So I don't know. I guess they're going back and forth between calling it the new edition and 2023 edition. Not that it matters because on the cover they don't ever put like 2023 edition or anything like that. So that's what's important to me. They can call it whatever they want to. So just in case, this is exactly the same page count as the first printing. So that collected Batman 1 through 7, Detective Comics 27 through 56, New York World's Fair Comics #2, World's Best Comics 1, and World's Finest Comics 2 and 3. This is huge, dude. Jess, that's you, man.
Yeah, I think I will get this just because I want to see how they
crazy.
No, and I will read it too.
What is wrong with you? This is also for you. Where's Bar? She should. I hardly do DC's catalogs, and Bar is never here when I do them. Okay, so Harley Quinn Volume 4, Task Force XX. Whoa, hardcover. Are you caught up with this stuff?
I haven't yet. No, I've only read the first 2, and I think Book 3 is coming out this month. I think, unless I feel like it's coming out this month. So then I'll be caught up. Through the first 3 volumes. Is Stephanie Phillips still writing this at this point?
It's a good question. I believe so. Nicole Phillips. So help me out here. When does this take place as opposed, like, Rebirth started the Amanda Connor and Palmiotti, or a continuation of the run, and then after that it was Frank Terry. When did they relaunch the book?
This version takes place after the Joker war, after the Joker war.
Gotcha.
Saga.
Okay. Jorge, if you're following DC schedule, those might be reprinted here in a few years. Honestly, if they're going back to reprint Volume 1, which Jess is going to buy, and he's going to get Volume 10, so he's got the two, the bookends here. He needs 2 through 9. So I'm sure those will come out. Especially, I didn't have a single hope. If you had asked me like just 4 months ago if they're ever going to do that, I would have been like, no, man, you're going to have to find those Golden Age books. I
think we were all really worried that DC was just going to throw in the towel. All of this is really a hopeful sign. All of these Omnis, Batman, Robin Eternal.
Even with my contact at DC telling me flat out that no, the Omnibus editions are not going away. We're not done with them. And then they told me some stuff off record, but even then I was like, oh man, I don't think that. I think that the old stuff is done just from the way that he worded some things. So I'm glad that stuff is coming back.
And that stuff off the record was they'd rather be talking to me, who knows about
They
DC.
were like, we need an expert on Superman and Meshi, and Legion of Superheroes. And I'm like, I got your guy. I got your guy. All right, Tim Drake Robin. First of all, I love Tim Drake. That's my favorite Robin. I kind of dig that art. And it looks very Humberto Ramos-ish. And I like that era of Robin. But I have not read this. Riley Rosmo is the writer on this.
Actually, Megan.
I'm sorry. He's the artist. Megan Fitzmartin is the writer.
Who's the writer?
Megan Fitzmartin. I've not read this. I don't know if anybody has. So if you have in the comments, let me know. I'm also getting that Golden Age Batman 1, Omar. I'm also the weird. Well, there's two of you. There you go.
Kyle.
There was somebody else asking if that was going to be reprinted. That guy.
Did they ever do a redesign of the dust jackets with the Golden Age stuff? I feel like they did at one point, but I might be making that up.
No. They did. They went back. Yeah. They started using like some Darwin Cook artwork. They redesigned them. So I don't know what they're going to be
doing.
Doing.
I don't know how they're going to match up. Yeah.
Any new Omnibus from the Bronze Age? Not this time around, Jeff, but don't lose hope because we got Golden Age.
Yeah.
And silver.
And silver.
The idea for the series was great. The writer should have been someone else. Oh, man. Not Martin Fitzmegan? No, Joe. Why are you messing me up by that? Yeah, I don't know. Big fan of Tim Drake, so even though they've just redone everything about him, like his origin and stuff, and they can't even keep that straight on like what version of Tim Drake they're using. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine being a writer and being handed a character like Tim Drake. And I'm like, okay, what's Tim Drake up to these days? I can't keep up. I Am Batman, Volume 3, The Right Question. It's a killer cover.
This is the final volume, I think, of this.
This is John Ridley stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the run with where Jace Fox is Batman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, look at you, Jess. You've been reading this, huh?
Oh, no, I have it, and I just haven't gotten to it yet because I want to see how they work Jace Fox into it. Yeah.
Well, by the time you get to the third volume, they'll announce a deluxe edition, so you'll have to put those aside.
It'll be the Omnibus in 2026.
By then, you'll have Batman Golden Age 1, 2, and 10. So you'll be good to go, brother. Batgirl Year 1, 2023 edition.
Ooh, this has been out of print.
Yes, I was expecting it to come back in print as like a big, thick hardcover with Nightwing and Robin.
Yeah.
But instead, they're reprinting the trade paperbacks, which is a good thing, right? Like, not everybody likes deluxe editions, but the Year 1s did come out in deluxe editions, and those are gone now. But this collects Batgirl Year 1, 1 through 9, and 240 pages, $19.99. So it is a trade paperback. And if you've not read this, have you read this, Jess?
This book is great.
Every one of those.
Yeah.
Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty and Marcos Martin. Oh my gosh. Just going back to that age of innocence in a way. Oh, it's so good.
Batgirl and Robin and Nightwing were all just such good stories, especially Batgirl and Robin Year 1. They were such good stories.
Is it the same creative team that you just mentioned for the Batgirl? Do they also work on the Robin and Nightwing, or is it different creative teams?
They work on Robin. Nightwing is Scott McDaniel that draws the artwork, though.
Okay.
So I'm very excited for this. I'm excited for this one right here. This is October now. We're moving into October. Oh man, Power Girl Return.
Yeah. Oh, I was just reacting to the cover. Sorry.
Oh. Leah Williams is one of the creators, which I had no idea she was writing stuff for DC. I thought she was still writing stuff at Marvel exclusively. Big fan of Leah Williams. And material from Lazarus Planet, Assault on Krypton, Action Comics 1051 to 1053, and Power Girl Special. So this is all new stuff. That's an art germ cover right there.
Oh, yeah.
Batgirls. Anybody reading this? I've got volume 1. I haven't read it yet.
I think this is the final volume of this one, too.
Oh, man, it got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh, it got canceled? I heard really good things about this.
Yeah. They're ending it in June, I think.
Now, are they ending it like? It seems like they're ending a lot of titles because they are renaming the titles. Like the Superman titles are going to be rebranded and renamed. I hope that's the reasoning why they're canceling this. I've heard a lot of good things about this one.
I was always thinking that I'd just wait and get a deluxe of this, but if it's been canceled, maybe I should just go ahead and get the 3 trades. Would you think a canceled book would get an upgrade to a deluxe? They'd probably, if it's, I don't know. I don't think.
I want to say that in the past they've done deluxe editions of canceled projects, but it's not very common.
Yeah.
Not at
all. Would there be enough content? It'd be 2 pretty thin books if it's just 3 trades, no? You know what I mean? Like if there was 4 volumes.
If they do a deluxe edition of all 19 issues, then I mean that's
just a single volume. Yeah.
Yeah, they can do that. I mean, they did the same thing with Doom Patrol recently. So I can't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get the 3 trades of this and not wait.
I will say this much, man. If they're actually keeping an eye on the market to see how well their product sells outside of single issues, and they see a huge sell of trade paperbacks and graphic novels for this series, then yeah, of course, you'll definitely get a deluxe edition. I mean, that's just a wise move. But if they're not keeping an eye on that and they're just looking at the sales of single issues, then probably not. They probably don't even know about this book. They're moving on to the next project, which sadly happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll probably be picking them up because you know what happens. This stuff gets canceled 2 years from now. We're going to be like, oh man, I wish I had picked up Batgirl's Volume 2. That stupid thing is $150 now.
Same with any Marvel trade. Yeah, you're right.
Here you go. Jess, what is this?
Boy, I don't know. It's got Zatanna in it, so I am up for it. I don't know who the Ripper is.
But this looks like one of those webtoons. So DC's been getting into webcomics lately.
Oh, okay.
And so they've also translated a few of them to print. So this and a few others on this list are all of the print versions of those books.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love all things Zatanna, so I will be getting this. Even if it's a webtoon, whatever that is.
Whoa! What is this, Aaron?
Oh,
we were just talking about this.
Yes.
Nice.
Deceased, the deluxe edition. This is $39.99, 240 pages from what I gather. Even though there's no content based on the cover and the creative team, I'm assuming this is just the first 6 issues of Deceased, but here you go. Oversized hardcover.
So how many volumes would you need in deluxe edition to get the whole run then, by your estimation? If this is in fact the 6 issues.
4, isn't there?
4 volumes? Okay.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look really quick. I just want to make sure that that's right.
Were there also, because I vaguely remember when I had like a lot of the standard hardcovers of this run, were there also like a spin-off series that got their own hardcovers, or am I mistaken? Was it just the 4 main volumes? Deceased?
No, that sounds about right, that there were spin-off series. I do remember that vaguely.
Yeah, I remember there being like a lot of like little trades and hardcovers, those like 10 and 15.
Joe's saying 5, and so is Roberto Rodriguez.
I'll be right back.
So the Deceased, the first volume was only 236 pages, but it also collected Deceased, A Good Day to Die one shot, and the first 6 issues. So judging by this page count, it's exactly the same thing, maybe with a couple of extras.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I was a big fan of it. Where's Jess? 'Cause here we go.
Oh,
Wonder Woman.
I'm right here with my 4 volumes of Deceased. The extra one's just a spin-off, so it doesn't count as far as deluxe goes. 4.
Okay. Nice.
So you got to rebuy those.
What I was picturing, yeah.
No, I am not going to rebuy.
Jess, you know how this works. You rebuy them in deluxe edition, and that's how we get an omnibus. So by the time you get around
the truth
to reading them, you're going to be like, "Well, I'll just wait around for the omnibus coming in 2027." But Wonder Woman Silver Age, you're getting Silver Age, Jess? I can't remember if you're getting these or not.
I did get the first one, and I still have to do an overview of it. I don't want to say anything bad about the Silver Age because I want him to keep going with the Silver Age, but this is kind of rough. I mean, the stuff with Steve Trevor's basically like a male Lois Lane. He keeps trying to trick Wonder Woman into marrying him. It's very weird reading it from the 2023 perspective. It's just odd, but I will say that she solves things not through just barreling through the problem. She solves things very intellectually, which I thought was pretty forward thinking for the Silver Age. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to get it.
I love how you just went through all of that. No, I love it. Now, there should be one more of the Silver Age before we get to that Diana Prince era,
Ooh.
right?
Oh,
Like,
good.
I think it'll be Wonder Woman, the Silver Age, Volume 3, because the Diana Prince stories start with like 176, 178, something like that. Yeah. And that's already been collected in an omnibus. It came out a few years ago. I think people found it at Ollie's, and I'm so on the fence about that one because I've read some of those stories, and I'm like, I kind of want to go back and revisit that era, but
I'm not on the fence on those stories at all.
You've been a fan of the Diana Prince era?
Oh, God bless Denny O'Neil, but that was not a good idea. And then that Mike Sikowski art, wow! Even as a kid, when I was reading it, I was thinking, I'm not into this at all. So God bless both those men. God bless DC, peace and love. But Diana Prince, Spy for Uncle or whatever it was just awful.
Yeah.
I'd much rather get this and Volume 3 and then go to Wonder Woman Bronze Age or skip whatever.
Jess, you can't skip anything because they'll rebrand it. They'll reprint it as a Volume 4, and that's how you're going to buy Wonder Woman Volume 4.
It's like somehow it's like you know me really well. It's very upsetting.
I'm not only the owner of this channel, I'm also a collector, so I understand how this works. Have you seen my X-Men shelf? Do you think I'm proud of all these stories?
That's true.
Oh my gosh, there's some utter bad stuff out there collected edition. We don't talk about that stuff. Ghostmaker Clown Hunter by James Tynion. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was a manga just based on the cover here, but this is just a placeholder cover, isn't it, Aaron?
Yeah.
Batman Secret Files, Clown Hunter 1, Joker Warzone 1, stories from Batman 2022 Annual 1, Batman Annual 5, and Batman 107 and 111. Trade paperback, 192 pages, $19.99. Mm-hmm. In which Jess talks himself into buying stuff. All is right with the world. Yes, Omar, I do think you're proud of all the X-Men books. Yes, but I go over some of them pretty quickly when I'm just like, so this is the era with Joseph. The least we say about that, the better. DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead.
I heard this is awesome.
Yeah, really? Okay.
That's really good.
Eduardo Rizzo, who's no stranger to writing war comics, is writing this particular story. Or drawing it, sorry. But Bruce Campbell is writing it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Like Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, and I think that I've heard like through the chat and through Omnibros, people who are reading it in singles say this is super fun and really well done.
Oh man,
I know Bruce Campbell. I would have.
Okay, I mean, way. He wrote his own book, right? Like, so the guy can write. What was it called? A Chance Could Kill or something like that. Okay. And I do like. There's not enough Sergeant Rock, so. Look, Roberto Rodriguez agrees. Sergeant Rock, a must buy.
He keeps saying it.
He's really excited. Wow. Dead Boy Detective Omnibus. This one came out of nowhere. Like, what the heck? Okay, it makes sense, right? It's Neil Gaiman. You gotta cash in on the Neil Gaiman stories, right? So these are the characters that appeared in what was it? The Books of Magic. This collects Dead Boy Detectives 1 through 12, Sandman Presents, Dead Boy Detectives 1 through 4, Sandman 25, Children's Crusade 1 and 2, Ghost number 1, Witching Hour 1, Time Warp 1, Doom Patrol Annual 2, and Swamp Thing Annual number 7. Whoa. I did not see this one coming. This one actually is one that they just added yesterday at the last minute.
Yeah, this was a total surprise. As I was working on the slideshow, you actually messaged me and said, "Hey, this is."
I was refreshing. And I was refreshing the catalog. I was like, "Oh, they're adding stuff."
Yeah,
like maybe by the time this
kind of
video is over,
this kind of thing makes me not only have hope for DC, but like DC might actually be back in the game now. Dead Boy Detectives Omnibus, this is going to be great. They were great characters. Created by Neil Gaiman, and they continued to be well written. I got through. I haven't read the Swamp Thing Annual or the Doom Patrol Annual, but I read a lot of this, and it's just a really fun, interesting, odd concept that somehow works. This is really good. That DC's, if they actually do this,
always an instigator saying that Dead Boy Detectives is getting.
okay,
maybe that's what.
I really thought that they were cashing in on the, I mean, they've done the Sandman universe, the classic Sandman universe. They've done Lucifer, and we've gone through Books of Magic. So now's the next thing. So very nice surprise. 776 pages, $100.
This is a good sign. Really, it's exciting, I think.
So will it serve as like a gap filler of any type in the Sandman omnibus world for collectors of that, or like does this need volume? Do we still need something else to fill in?
I think this is it.
This looks like everything. And it would be it's definitely one that's just kind of like Books of Magic and Lucifer. You don't need to have read Sandman to enjoy them.
Like its own thing, right? Okay, cool.
Batman: The Wayne Family Adventures Volume 2.
Oh,
and
so
that's
webtoon,
huh?
These webtoons.
What really going through that?
Do you know anything about this, Aaron?
No, except I actually have heard some good things about this one. People that have read it through webtoons have said it's really fun. But yeah, this is another one of those webtoons going to print type of feel.
Okay, I'm going to show my age now. How do you get to a webtoon? Where do I find webtoons?
I got it, Aaron. I'll send you a link after this.
I am trying to engage my friend here. I don't need you telling me that I'm ready for social security.
Just click on the link that I send you. You'll be fine. They'll take you right to where you want to go. No, go ahead, Aaron. How does he get to webtoons? As I write notes too.
I guess I'm gonna show my age too because I actually don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought he was gonna rickroll you. So,
they're posting links. It's www.webtoons.com. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Absolute Transmetropolitan is coming back. I know people are waiting for that Volume 3. At least most of my viewers are waiting for Volume 3, but Volume 2 is coming back. Collecting Transmetropolitan 19 through 39, Vertigo Winter's Edge number 3, Transmetropolitan Filth of the City, $150, 544 pages. This is the 2023 edition. So we need one more to wrap it up.
Is that how much it cost? Oh, I'm sorry.
What was that, Aaron?
Is that how much it cost last time?
I don't think so, dude.
125, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I keep looking back there like I have them all back there. They're all over there.
I can almost guarantee it wasn't because I remember selling the last printing in these, and that price point seems very different.
Oh wow!
So I believe it was 125. If I'm not
125, yeah.
125. Yeah.
DC.
Wonder Woman. This is really interesting because they're reprinting this omnibus, but then we're also getting a deluxe edition of Blood and Guts, and that is the Cliff Chang and not Eduardo Rizzo. What is
Cliff Chang and Brian Azzarello
run of Wonder Woman in the New 52? So I'm curious why they decided to I think this is it feels like this is one of those books that should have come out a few years back, and the project just kind of got dropped.
It actually was, because I remember seeing this a few years ago when DC was doing their essential editions, which were like their answer to Marvel's Epic line. But then they canceled that one outright, and so I guess they reshuffled the essential edition into this deluxe edition. But you're right, it is kind of redundant because this more than likely collects the first 12 issues plus the 0 issue.
Yeah, because if you look at the page count, it looks like the first 12 issues, and maybe the 0 issue.
I was gonna say that's pretty rough price point considering the Red Hood Deluxe I think is like 540 pages, and I think that was $30, $29.99. So I think that was right, but that's a lot for a deluxe edition, no? I mean, I guess some of those Batman ones were like that too, but it's pretty small.
My man, Carlos Diaz, Blood and Guts, Berserk. That's right. Detective Chimp, here's another big surprise in hardcover, dude.
Nice.
Hardcover, what the heck? Amazing World of DC Comics. DC Comics presents 35, DC Special Tarzan 230. Tarzan?
Oh, yeah.
231 and 234 to 235. I don't even know how they're doing that. The Adventures of Rex the Wonder Dog 46 46. Who's Who, the definitive directory of the DC Universe 6. Woo.
I love they're pulling the Rex the Wonder Dog stories. These are super Silver Age, but I really want an action figure of him because I need that for my Justice League Dark. So this gives me hope that if they're giving him a hardcover, they're going to give him a action figure.
Hold on a second here, Ted. Omar's favorite detective. No. 2-3 years ago, I don't even know dude's watching, but somebody super chatted me. How would I rate Batman as a occult detective? And I said 6 out of 10, and that blew up into everybody thinking that I think Batman's stupid, that he's not a good detective, that Batman's just a 6 out of 10. When I said occult detective, because I said, well, realistically, like Phantom Stranger and the Detective Chimp are better detectives when it comes to the occult. And man, I shouldn't have said that. The internet, man, they will turn on you like that.
I didn't even know it was a cult detective. People leave that out. They just say, "Oh, Omar thinks Batman's the sixth."
Of course they leave that out, man. Of course they leave that out. Come on, Jazz. You know how the internet is. Taking things out of context.
Right. It's the internet.
Vixen is another webtoon that we can go to www.webtoon.com to go and read. Volume 2. DC's, look, Jess, hold up. This is what you need, Jess, and then you get the deluxe edition. Yeah, all you're missing is the box.
Well, they are right though. There's a 5th.
Yeah, there is 5. Yeah,
there is a 5th one in there. But was there a 5th that which was I guess a follow up? What was
not? It's not out yet. That's the one that we saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is interesting to me because it is 992 pages, $100. But it's a box set. This feels like they could have made an omnibus of this, you know?
Oh, I'm sure that will come.
Yeah.
Because, well, they've done the same things with some of the compendiums like Fables, or those Batman year 1 characters. So we will see. Bat's saying that it is ongoing right now.
Okay. Yeah. Joe Cool. I mean, Relic is saying that too, so it's being currently written. Okay,
Jess, I feel like you would like Ookla the Mock, like that band. Detective Chimp is mentioned in the Ookla the Mock song "Gorilla City." Go listen to it on you. Dude, I think you would like. First of all, I think you and Jess would get along really well, Jeff. But I think you would also like.
You have the vinyl box set of Ookla the Mock right over there, so I could.
See, I knew it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Who's Ookla the Mook? What?
It's a band. How do you not? You probably own their vinyl. The Nice House on the Lake, the deluxe edition, finally coming out. Collecting Nice House on the Lake 1 through 12. I've been waiting on this one. I read the first trade and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad this is coming out in October, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, here we go. Wonder Woman Golden Age Volume 5. Action Comics 142, Wonder Woman 35 through 47, Sensation Comics 90 to 104. This one, again, It's weird how we keep going back and forth, but this one's 688 pages, $150.
What?
Makes me think some of these projects were probably done years before they actually did this, and they just kind of kept the files and everything the same. Superman for all seasons. They're coming out with a new trade paperback of this, collecting all 4 issues of this miniseries by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. iZombie, the complete series omnibus. So they're reprinting this one, and this was a fun series. Have you all read this?
I love this.
Yeah, it's a really good
Who's the
series. Well, that's Mike Allred right there, doing the artwork.
Robertson.
Chris Robertson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only it's 28 issues. The only problem is it got canceled, and they had like 2 issues left to wrap up all these loose ends. So it's great through the first 26, and then it just feels rushed at the end. But I also understand if you have it in context that they were trying to finish it up in a coherent, cohesive way, you kind of just go, okay, I get it. But it's so, like Omar says, it's such a fun, really great, interesting read. That's great Mike Allred art, and it's got a guy that turns into a were-terrier instead of a werewolf, and
I love that.
Hilarious ghosts, and it's nothing like the TV show.
I was going to say there was a TV show. I forgot about the TV show.
Yeah, it's nothing like that, but this comic is really good. So I'm glad that it's getting a new Omni. People really need to read this and just let it wash over them and enjoy it.
Is it something that like a 13, 14-year-old girl could read? Because it looks like something my niece would like, and I would like to get this.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks,
Be a
man.
perfect gift.
Wonder Woman Evolution. Stephanie Phillips, Mike Hawthorne. This is the trade paperback of Wonder Woman Evolution 1 through 8. Human Target is getting a trade paperback, collecting the first 6 issues. I've not read it because I'm waiting on. With these Tom King books, I'm like, I know they're gonna make a deluxe in a year or 2.
I've heard this one really good. I've heard phenomenal things about this.
Really?
Yeah. And Greg Smallwood's artwork is just...
He's a great artist. I love his art. Kind of wish he'd take over Daredevil with whomever the new writer is going to be. Greg Rucka and Smallwood would be a great team on Daredevil.
I would.
Stargirl, The Lost Children. And this collects Stargirl, The Lost Children 1 through 6. I believe that's Todd Knock on the cover. Yeah, it is. And Stargirl Spring Break Special. Huge fan of Stargirl, and this is Jeff Johns coming back to the character. That was it's based on his kid sister that died in a horrible airplane accident. I think it was no, it wasn't 9/11. It was I think it was before then. But yeah, that's who he based his sister, or he based the character of Stargirl on, was his sister. Titans United, Blood Pact. This collects the 6-issue miniseries.
Is this the one where Tom Taylor's on it now?
No, this is Kevin Scott.
No, this is a separate series, follow-up to the first Titans United story.
Okay.
It's got the cast from the TV show, so that's why they made it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Another printing of Virtue and Vice, which is freaking excellent. This is collected in the Omnibus. I think it's in volume 2, if I'm not mistaken, if you have the JSA Omnis. But David Goyer, Jeff Johns, and the late Carlos Pacheco. It's a great freaking crossover. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I always remember Johnny.
Oh, yeah. I'd send you that deluxe edition.
You sent me the deluxe edition. I'll never forget. Now, this is a placeholder, but this is the trade paperback. I'm assuming they're going to use the same cover here. $19.99. And it does collect the follow-up, too.
I actually got to get that. I don't even have the hardcover for myself. I'm going to have to pick that up. Nice.
Dude, you need to get
and on sale on Halloween. I like that. How about that?
Oh.
It's time to get those. All right, one that comes with a big surprise to me is Spy versus Spy Omnibus. Our buddy Gio, we were in a chat, and he was just going off about how DC is just losing their mind. Like they're not releasing an Aquaman omnibus, but we're getting a Spy versus Spy omnibus. Now, I was quiet for a reason. I was just because I actually like Spy versus Spy. It was my childhood growing up reading Mad Magazine. So I'm excited for this. It's one of those weird what the hell? I did not expect this to come out. Like how? 400 pages, $75.
This has been hard to find since it came out. I have it because like you, I grew up loving Spy versus Spy, but I'm surprised at the prices that this thing gets on eBay. I mean, now of course they'll
Maybe
drop, but this thing was getting a pretty high dollars, so people definitely like Spy versus Spy. So I think this is apologies to Geo. I think there's people, that really, really like anything Mad Magazine in an oversized format.
It's bringing back those childhood memories of reading those stories. I know he's gonna show up in the chat and be like, Ed 2, Omnidog, really? Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods. Oh, really like that cover. Here, that's the cover to issue number 1 because it's a placeholder cover. So this is G. Willow Wilson, who is writing Wonder Woman, I believe, and is this like anything to do with the Lazarus Pit? The War Begins. I don't know what this is. Anybody here?
Lazarus Planet, yeah, it's basically the new DC event that's been going on for a little bit. It was the prelude to Dawn of DC, written by Mark Waid. It's kind of spun out of Batman versus Robin and then went back to Batman versus Robin. So it's kind of a weird event. But yeah, so it does have something to do with the Lazarus Pit. It's like the energy or something is now all over the DC universe or something. Yeah.
Okay. And now she's writing it. It is a hardcover. Love her, Miss Marvel. And oh my goodness, just came out last year in library edition. I'll think about it later. Forbidden Planet? No, something Planet. Super Sons. Okay, this one surprises me because, first of all, it's not expanded edition. And I thought they were going to pull that on us, and my dumb ass would buy it. Like Super Sons Omnibus Expanded Edition is just getting a new printing. Collecting Superman 10 through 11, 37 through 38, Super Sons 1 through 16, Teen Titans 15, the Holiday Special, Annual 1, Super Sons and Dynamite Special 1, and then Adventures of the Super Sons. So it doesn't collect, was it Challenges of the Super Sons or Challenge of the Super Sons?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was called? Challenge of the Super Sons? Yeah. So I thought they were going to do that. They were like, okay, we're going to reprint it, but we'll call it an expanded edition, and idiots like Omar and Omnidog will buy it.
Totally.
Absolutely. I love this stuff, man.
Yeah.
If you all have not read it, this is some of the most wholesome, awesome stories. I love the stories in here. They're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Tomasi's a cool dude, man. He came up to one of my booths at a convention, and we just chatted baseball for a while. He's a really nice guy. So I just always think of that when I see his name. He's just he's a really cool dude.
You were talking baseball with him? Did you make a bet in Welsh on him too?
Wow. He's not going to let that go.
We won't. We'll talk about it later.
I'd rather talk to your wife about the coffee card anyway.
I bet you would. I was going to say, I don't want her text because you'll have her phone number. I was worried about that.
I totally want your wife's phone number.
I know.
Dude, this is a family-friendly.
You should see his wife.
I'm on the wrong stream.
Invisible Kingdom was the G. Willow Wilson.
Oh, yeah. That's actually really, really good.
That's the book I was talking about. Kid John was great, but Son of Kal-El is amazing. I've only read the first trade, and it was good, but I do miss that era when he was Kid John. I wish he had stayed longer. Maybe because, I'm like, oh, my kids are getting older. I don't want everybody to just grow up. November 2023, Catwoman Volume 3.
Ooh,
look at
what
that
a cool cover.
Now, Omar, a quick note on that Kid John. You mentioned he is back a little bit in the current Action Comics run. There's a
don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Okay.
Okay. Huh. A little bit. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is this an NMC dark show?
You just told him not
Just
to
went
say
all
anything.
dark, man. It was ruthless. Absolute Batman Court of Owls, the 2023 edition, $125, 360 pages. And I want to say that's the exact same page count as the original printing. At one time, they were set to collect all of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's work on Batman in absolute format. I guess probably not anymore.
Maybe this could take it off again if it sells well enough.
I don't know. Maybe 300. Well, hold on a second. The first printing had 384 pages. But keep in mind, like I said,
might be wrong.
Sorry about that. The page count can be wrong on these two because this is the first 11 issues of Batman. I can't imagine them shrinking or making a book and you printing less page counts. Poison Ivy. This is a hardcover. Man, where is Bar? She's missing out on all these characters that she loves so much. Omni Dog.
This is great.
Wow. I did not expect. I didn't plan any of that, Johnny. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to be harassed. Okay. Your wife, rather. $24.99.
Yes.
160 pages. Hardcover. Collecting Poison Ivy 7 through 12.
Yeah, I heard that Poison Ivy series is awesome. Apparently really good. Yeah.
It's actually an ongoing now. They expanded it from 12 to an ongoing. So
that's always a good sign.
Joachim, how's it going, brother? I used to have 4 different versions of Court of Owls collected. Tempted every time they reprint that. Do it. And Sandman Universe. I didn't even know they were doing any more Dead Boy Detectives. Dead Boy Detectives coming out in trade paperback, collecting the first 6 issues, $19.99. And this is all part of the Sandman Universe, the new universe. Superman Volume 1 in hardcover, collecting Superman 1 through 5. I don't think... Are all the issues of this out already? This is the Joshua Williamson series.
Issue
2023 series. It can't be. We're only 3 months in. That's 5 issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Issue 2 just came out this week.
Okay. So
they're all reading this, Aaron?
Oh, yeah. Issue 1 was so good. It was good.
They brought him back to Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's back from Warworld. He's now back in Metropolis. I don't want to spoil too much with it, but it's got a great setup for Superman and Lex Luthor's relationship, their arch rival. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. It's really fun.
Oh, good.
And beautiful Jamal Campbell artwork too.
I was gonna say you have Jamal Campbell on artwork. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he did that what was it? Green Lantern Far Sector?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I love
that. He is a great artist. And he also, what was it, Naomi? Did he do Naomi with Brian Michael Bendis? I think. Joker. This is another manga. It looks like Volume 2. Look, Jess, you can buy them back to back, buddy. They're just pumping them out. Volume 2. Does Joker have a kid, or did he turn Batman into a kid?
I was going to say, so this one actually, as I was doing research for this, he's actually somehow raised a baby Bruce Wayne, and like he's turning. Yeah, I don't know how.
These are Silver Age stories, Jess. How are you not jumping into this?
Dude, he's playing with little Batmobiles. You see that? Those are awesome.
And Harley's in the background, and they're raising Bruce Wayne.
Yes, it is ridiculous, but it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I bet this outsells every comic. And Jess and I are gonna have to review it. Command D by Jack Kirby, Volume 2, collecting Command D, The Last Boy on Earth, 21 through 40. This is one of my few exceptions of I don't do any DC pre-Crisis on Infinite Earths. I really enjoy this. And this is what kind of got me to buy the Fourth World. I need to get the OMAC one. Now, the story of Command D continued past Jack Kirby's era. And I wonder if they'll collect that, because this is everything that Jack Kirby did, even though it's called Command D by Jack Kirby. I guess Volume 3 wouldn't be called that. It would just be called Volume 3. This thing, oh my gosh, I can't let my wife see this. It's $500.
Yeah.
Like I know, like it's amazing though. Like this is a huge, like okay, so it contains the 6 hardcovers of Sandman.
Oh, they go in the top of this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's like a helmet, right?
Oh,
It's a helmet, but it's a bookshelf. So at the back, yeah, I know. It's at the back, you slide in the books as if they was a bookshelf, but you put it on your shelf. And it has all the Sandman stuff. So all 6 volumes, like the 6 books, trade paperbacks, but this one's in hardcover. And
They're leather bound and foil embossed.
Those look like nice books. So you can only see the top, but they look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, like my wife can't see that, or my dumbass is gonna have that on the back of his shelf, like back here somewhere.
if I sell all the Omnis and get 300 for those,
Right. Now you're thinking,
I
Jess.
know.
Look at Jess. Look at Jess thinking.
and I can get this on discount.
This is one of my favorite stories. My gosh, like if they ever do this with Wolverine, like give me like his claws with like 6 of his hardcover. I'm in. I'm that stupid. This was a big surprise, but a welcome one. Fables Deluxe Edition, Book 16. I have the deluxe editions, and this is an edition. This is the stuff that was written in 2022 by Willingham. So this was not included in the previous volumes. So also not part of the compendiums if you're reading them that way. So I'm glad that they're doing this. This shows that they thought that there's a lot of fans that bought the deluxe editions. Granted, there's a ton that are out of, or 3 that I think are out of print now, but there were a lot of us that bought this and would love to have this collected. So I'm glad that they did this. And it makes me think, okay, what was the decision with Fables like this? But Bat and Cat got a standard hardcover instead of making it a deluxe edition to put it with the Tom King books, right? Like, I mean, that's where it wraps. That's where a story kind of wraps up. It is not in the box set, Joe. This is the stuff that happens afterwards. The box set contains issues 1 through 150.
See, with Batcat, I'd do one of the deluxe edition, and we already knew about the Tomasi Detective Comics run, which is in the Rebirth era, but I really want that Tom King stuff in omnibus format.
Like, that will come. I mean, that's a short bet. It's Tom King.
You mean his Rebirth?
Mm-hmm.
Rebirth Batman?
Yeah. Because I mean, I used to have the deluxe editions, and I wanted all 6 of them, but I thought an omnibus was coming, so I let them go. And I know, I feel dumb too. I feel stupid, but I know everybody judging me like, yeah.
But, I mean, if you think about it though, that stuff is sure to come. It's Batman. It's Tom King. We're getting a Tomasi omnibus. Yeah. Yes, but just to reassure people, this is not in the box set, the compendium box set. It's not part of compendium volume 4 either. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if he keeps coming back, we'll have a compendium volume 5 and then we'll get another box set. I don't know, but it's not in there.
This is really exciting.
Look at this. Okay.
Too, but
I'm excited and a little hurt, but still excited. Because if you keep up with the writer of I'm so sorry. What is his
Bill
name?
Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah.
Thank you. He has been pushing a big fat collection of his Superman stories, and he got it, but it's coming out in compendium size, which isn't bad, right? Like I know people love compendiums, and I'll take stories in oversized format no matter, or in collected edition no matter what. But I was hoping with that page count and this being such a popular character and a popular story, omnibus. No, we're getting a compendium, it looks like. So, but it is everything, right? If I'm not mistaken. Action Comics 1030 to 1046. The annuals 21 and 22. Authority Special, Future State Superman, House of L, Worlds of War 1 and 2, and World Apocalypse. Dude, I read a couple of these issues that somebody gave me, and somebody was kind enough to give me at a convention. I was just standing in line, and he was like, Omar. And I was just like, yeah, I didn't bring anything to read. Then he had me his comics, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that. And he's like, oh, I've got a bunch. And I read these while I was waiting in line to get inside of a panel. Man, I was like, well, I need the trade paperbacks now. So I'm glad this is coming out in November, but
So
yeah.
is this the final chapter? Just a big collection because it's not the first stuff where he goes to Warworld and forms the Authority with Grant Morrison's Authority, Superman and the Authority.
Oh,
Is this after those?
it's kind of scattered. So it's like Superman and the Authority is actually in this story. Like it kind of interjects within the story, but this is his entire World saga. So everything from like, think of it like a gap filler between Superman, the One Who Fell, and then Superman Kal-El Returns. This is everything.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but if you have Superman and the Authority, it kind of reads in between this because again, the same Authority team in there is the same one that shows up here.
Yeah, I think I saw that you read the first War World and then Superman and the Authority and then the second War World book.
Oh, yes.
It like fits right in between those, which is how I'm collecting them as the trades with a hardcover right in the middle of it with Superman and the Authority.
Yeah,
it's odd, but I felt like it. I just didn't know if DC was going to put that whole thing together or not. So I'm just going to continue to collect the trades.
Yeah.
But so this
maybe
is
an
the
omnibus
world thing then.
Yeah.
Okay,
DB is right. It should have included Superman and the Authority because yeah, that goes right after Volume 1 of World Rising, and in between and before Superman Action Comics Volume 2, The Arena.
Right. Okay.
So,
that's what I thought. And then how many
I'm okay
trades?
with waiting on an omnibus then,
Yeah.
but I'll still get this because I need to read it.
Yeah, this is really good though.
Okay. That is a boss cover.
And Absolute Preacher is coming back, Volume 2. It's one of my favorite Vertigo titles. So, in case you missed it the first time around, I believe Volume 1 is due out in June, if I'm not mistaken.
I do have an opinion on this real quick, if you don't mind. So, as a seller, I did find that the Preacher Absolutes, I had a really hard time selling them because of the price point. It was kind of similar to the Sin City Deluxe. Like you're telling someone to pay $450 for these 3 volumes, like for the whole set. You know what I mean? Retail. It was kind of hard. Do you think since the other Absolutes are starting to reach the $150 price point, that could change the view on this? Because I'm kind of a little more hopeful about carrying these again, even though I had a hard time selling them the first time, if that makes sense.
What was the price point before? 125?
No, it's so for Preacher, it's
150.
150. That's what I'm saying. So like I think when people would like see mine, they'd be like, "Oh, these are kind of expensive." I'm like, "Yeah, they're a higher price point than the other Absolutes," and so people usually wouldn't buy them. So I'm saying now, since everything's kind of going to be 150 a pop, it might help these. Like people might not be as turned off by this price point. Do you think, or do you think they'll be more turned off by? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think it's getting to the point where things are just going up and going that route anyway. Right. So I think people, it's
easier to swallow than everything is 150.
Decisions will have to be made, right? Like you're going to have to decide what books to get if they're all going to 150. And yeah, I mean, it's like everything else that has gone up, right? Like you have to start making decisions and make sure that you still have food on the table, the important things, right? And then figure out how to spend the rest of the money. So yeah, I don't know if it will sell better, if it will not sell. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because we're now just going into the year where things are going up to 150.
Well, I'm glad this didn't go up to 175 or something crazy.
Yeah.
For real,
Well, what was the book that was 175? Was it 52? 52, I think, was 175. Yeah.
Yeah. The Omni, right?
That was the first Omni that I remember thinking, oh, wow. I guess once they go over a certain page count. Now, if you don't want to pay retail prices, you can check out our sponsor in Europe, Walt's Comic Shop. They're based out of Berlin, Germany. They have flat shipping rates of €12 for all EU countries, and all emails answered within 24 hours. Just head over to waltzcomicshop.com where you can use the code NearBigCondition at checkout. Free shipping for all EU countries with their first order of over €40 or more. That's Wall's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ting. My wife would be proud.
Johnny, did you have trouble selling those Sin City really expensive but really nice collector editions?
I won't even carry anything past volume 2 because I had such a hard time selling 1 and 2. Yes, that is.
Yeah, those were beautiful, but they were really expensive.
I would tell people they're in my personal collection, but I don't blame you for not wanting to like try it out this way. Get the
that's a $700 collection, right?
But, right, and I know we're all going to get it discounted, but you know we're still talking retail of $700. That's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
Madman is pretty similar. Madman, if you're diving into the Madman library editions, they're $100 each, so that's about $500 for all 5 of those.
And now, Omar, just present that to your wife when you buy that $500 Sandman set. Be like, hey, it's $700.
All right, Jess, here we go, buddy. Superman versus Meshy Volume 2, and this time he's being fed by Batman.
Batman's bringing the mesh. Feed me, Batman.
Oh, here we go. The Adventures of Superman, John Kent. So this is the new series, right, Aaron?
Yes, this is it. This is the one where he's finally going up against Ultraman for all the mess that he did in Bendis' run. So
now this is the, even though it's a new title, it's still Tom Taylor writing the character, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the finale wrap up to his Superman Son of Kal-El.
Okay.
Thank you. Static Shadows of the Coda. Collecting Static Shadows of the Coda 1 through 6. I assume this is the new era of Milestone.
Mm-hmm. Follow up to season 1 for
season
Static.
1. Okay. 200 pages, $29.99, and it's a standard size hardcover. Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum. Collecting the 6-issue mini. I guess it's a mini series.
Mm-hmm.
That's John Layman and Jesus Hervas Milan is the artist.
Yeah, this is a tie-in to the video game Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So if you're a fan of the game, or if you want to know more about the game and the story, pick this up because it also has codes for the game, like cosmetics and stuff,
like for costumes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Riddler Year 1. Paul Dano actually wrote this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The actor.
Yeah.
So this is one of those. Is it like the Bane Year 1 or all the other characters, Mr. Freeze Year 1? I just assume that goes into that box set of Year 1. But this is a hardcover, $29.99, and it collects the first 6 or the 6-issue miniseries based on the movie, the Batman movie. And Icon versus Hardware, collecting the 5-issue miniseries. This is another standard size hardcover for $29.99. I'm so glad Milestone is back. If only Dwayne McDuffie could see it. And oh my gosh, yes, one of my most wanted. It was like, it's one of those, you know, whenever you start seeing rumors, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna spread any rumors, but you start sweating when you, like, one of your favorite books is like, you had Mark Waid Flash 1 and no sign of Volume 2. You had The Question Volume 1 and no sign of Volume 2, and you're like, okay, wait, please let them finish that out, and then they can cancel the rest of the DC Omnibus line. Of course, those are things I'm thinking of. But yes, I'm so glad that this is here. So this collects. This is an interesting mapping. Okay, so the Question Quarterly is in there, which we thought it was going to be in, and Green Arrow is in there, the 2 annuals. The Question 28 through 36, annual number 2, Question Returns number 1, Who's Who 12, Azrael +1, and Brave and the Bold 1 through 6. So it's still missing some stuff, but 872 pages, $125. They are wrapping up the Question series, though, the first series.
This is awesome.
It's just a nice, it was a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
now I can buy the first one. I hope to still find it.
Yeah.
It's still in print.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in print.
This is great.
That was a nice surprise to see this actually be in the catalog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last time you had me on, the first one was in the solicit, actually, the volume 1. So.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so if you need any more Question Omnis coming out, you just let me on, and then it'll be.
So is that it? Waller, Waller versus Wildstorm. That's what's his name, right? But Battalion from Stormwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, $24.99 is another hardcover, standard size.
Well, actually, Black Label size because it's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a Black Label book.
Oh yeah, it looks like an album size. Good catch. Thank you for that.
Well, you never know because some of those Black Labels come out standard and deluxe. They come out all kinds of sizes. It's weird.
But this one's kind of more square bound. So
like the magazine size. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Aquaman Andromeda hardcover, 168. Where's Geo? Look, Aquaman's getting a hardcover.
That's the Black Label book too.
Yeah. I don't know if he's read it or not. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yes. Come on now. Batman Dark Knight Detective Volume 8 coming out. Collecting Detective Comics 644 to 652. And Detective Comics Annual number 5. That's a Kelly Jones cover right there. And this makes me so happy. Like whenever they're completing these, like, you know, you start getting worried about lines like this because we've seen that happen with Kyle Rayner's trade paperbacks. We've seen it happen with the Aquaman trade paperbacks, Supergirl trade paperbacks. You're like, oh man, I hope these are selling enough. Surely it's Batman. It's selling enough. And here it is. Now, that
is this missing 643? Were you just going to get there? I'm sorry. Is it missing 643? Because that's not in volume 7. Somebody pointed out in one of the.
Yeah, so I think that's just a misprint.
I would agree.
And it's not 643. Yeah, 653.
Yeah. 653. Okay.
Yeah, Detective Comics 653. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because Nightfall starts with issue 654, right? The first omnibus or trade paperback or whatever it is that you get from Nightfall starts with 654. In the past, they've made mistakes with their solicits and their content, so I'm assuming it's going to take us to 653. I hope it's not like Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 5, where everybody was, you know, like upset about it not lining up perfectly with Mutant Massacre. I don't think it's that case. I really do think that it's a case of them accidentally sending the wrong content out.
Unless we get a volume 9 that covers that plus 653, which I doubt. I agree with you, but that could happen, right?
The way you would do volume 9 would be covering that and then Sword of Azrael. You need the Sword of Azrael.
Yeah, that wasn't in any of the Nightfall trades.
No, which I don't know why. I would love for them to collect Sword of Azrael in oversized format. But yeah, 643 is in the comics Dark Knight Detective Volume 7. It's 653 is what they're thinking about.
So now that this is done, or that we're presuming this is done, and Cape Crusader's done, so now we got 6 Cape Crusader and 8 Dark Knight Detective. So plus stuff like, you know, Death in the Family and Killing Joke and stuff like that. So how many Omnis would that make? Because that would be
Aaron, I'm gonna stop you right there. You're jumping the gun. See, what needs to happen is this comes out, right? Jess buys this, and then the deluxe edition is announced, and then Jess buys that, right?
I knew that.
All these damn books in a different format. That's when DC announces the omnibus, and Jess is like, "Well, I guess I could sell those to get the omnibus," and that's how it's done.
Yeah, hang on, Aaron. I'm trying to help you out here. Just wait a few months.
All right. I'll wait.
In all seriousness, I mean, if they really want to do a post-crisis on Infinite Earths, and you start with year 1. I mean, if they make them huge, like Nightfall, you would need 3. But it's Batman. I mean, they could fatten those up to 4 if you start including Legends of the Dark Knight and Shadow of the Bat. But I mean, that would take some thinking. That would take like, okay, where exactly can we put these stories in Legends of the Dark Knight? Where does Shadow of the Bat? You know, whenever Batman is here, it doesn't make any sense to do these stories collected at. That would take some deep thinking. Like, how would you map that out? It'd be a lot of fun. I think Peter and I were actually talking about mapping Batman Omnis too. It'd be a lot of fun, but oh my gosh, a headache. Because Legends of the Dark Knight were, you know, stories in the past when Batman was alone. But then they started integrating them later on whenever there were crossovers, so that kind of stopped being a thing, and then Shadow of the Bat kind of became its own thing. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a really good question, but hopefully we will see.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's Batman, so they could do 4 and 5 Omnis, and we'll buy it. Danger Street. I don't know what this is, but
Tom King.
Mm-hmm.
I do see the helmet, Dr. Fate helmet there.
Ooh.
This one's using a lot of Tom King has an affinity for using underrated characters, so this one brings in like Dr. Fate, Manhunter, the original one.
Oh, okay.
I think Lady Cop.
Who?
Lady Cop.
Lady Cop.
Yes.
Just how do you not know Lady Cop? Do you not have an action figure?
I'm sure I have the original issues somewhere, but
I'm sure you've got the action figure somewhere.
Lady Cop. Wow.
Yeah. And so this is basically a series about them.
Okay.
But it's still ongoing though. So
it's interesting that they're going trade paperback with that. And I assume that's Jorge Fones, no, right? On artwork. Dave Stewart on colors.
Yeah.
I can assume. And we're moving on to December. Now, keep this in mind before we go over December. This might not be everything. As a matter of fact, the catalog is constantly updating. And even after watching this video, we could check and be like, oh my gosh, there's something that just popped up, which I will do. But it's pretty solid right now. The stuff like that doesn't get updated until about 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. This is volume 2 of the webtoons Zatanna and the Ripper.
Yay, Webtoons, my favorite format.
You have never been to Webtoons. Superman to Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1, baby.
This is awesome.
Nice.
There were some really cool first appearances in here. You got Brainiac, obviously. Supergirl first appears in here. Streaky, the Super Cat.
Yeah, Streaky.
Yeah, so
Look, you got Jess excited.
Oh, this is the most exciting stuff now. This is right when I started reading these things, and such great art and goofy but funny and fun, dangerous sort of stories. And Aaron's right. There's tons of first appearances and interesting Mixes Pitlick appearances and stuff. And I love these.
So
the Silver Age part.
Kurt Swan doing a lot of work in here. Okay.
Hey,
unless it's Wayne Boring who does some of the.
Our buddy Gio.
Listen,
the Black Aquaman collected editions bombs me out. There was a black label one, Gio. We love you, buddy.
Yo, Jess. So I'm being serious here. Since you really read this stuff as a kid and stuff, how do you feel about the reproduction? Considering I don't think their department is like the Marvel Masterworks department when it comes to reproduction. So how do you feel about this stuff in the collected edition format compared to original? Since you actually,
you mean how it
how it presents, how it looks, the aesthetic of it? Because I mean, when it's remastered, it looks a little different. So
yeah, is this undergoing the same kind of treatment like Masterworks, or
that's what I'm saying? I don't think it does, but I don't know for sure. But I've never heard that it does. So
yeah, I think these things translate probably pretty well from the original comics to the collected editions, since it's not like 1940s stuff where they would have to really take special care to blow them up into oversized. I think these things translate. There wasn't anything remarkable about the coloring. It's really basic coloring in these Silver Age stories for both. For any DC Silver Age stuff. So I think unless there's like a printing glitch or the ghost of Neil Adams comes back to recolor things, I think that.
Oh, thanks.
I think that they will translate probably just fine and may even look better because it'll be on better paper than the old 12-cent, 10-cent comics.
Thank you for answering that. Appreciate it.
Thank you for asking.
What an answer, man. Infinite Crisis coming back in hardcover format, $29.99, coming out December 12th. And I wonder if they're going to go back to the original art by Jimenez or if they're going to use the new artwork that they used in the single issues when it was coming out because he was running late. Multiversity Harley screws up the DCU. Justice has you and Barr's name written all over.
I love the cryptos chasing her right out in front. That's awesome.
It's Amanda Connor, isn't it? It looks like Amanda Connor, but that's written by Frank Thierry.
It does look like Amanda Connor.
But it's Logan Farber is the artist.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, I'm not done talking about Harley screws up the Batman after what?
Please. At this moment, I just want to remind everybody to smash the like button, please, before Jess goes on a whole tangent about how much he loves Harley. Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No. I'm happy to get this. I anything Harley is good with me.
Oh,
I'm with Harley like you are with X-Men. Even mid stuff that's not the greatest written stuff. I have no idea if this is good or bad.
It's Connor. Her signature's on the cover.
Oh, wow.
Use your eyes. I couldn't tell who the Omnibus Collector Network was until I saw that part right there. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
Gabe.
Yeah, it looks fun. So I'm okay.
Batman Gotham After Midnight, the deluxe edition, finally coming out. It's got an introduction by John Carpenter. Collecting all 12 issues, 368 pages, $49.99. And this is one that I think I never got around to getting volume 2. This is a Steve Niles book. Was it volume 1? Maybe it's artwork by Kelly Jones. So you had me at Kelly Jones. Nightwing volume 4. This book just
bat ears that go up off the page.
What's that? Oh, the bat ears.
The bat ears that go up off the page.
Yeah, man. Nightwing volume 4, The Leap. Still, this is one of the best runs on this character, man. It's been so good. Collecting Nightwing 98 through 100 and 2022 annual number 1, $24.99. And it's a hardcover. And I don't know if you're keeping up with him, but he wrote a story recently that's told through the eyes of Nightwing. So it's like a point of view story. He was, and Taylor was talking about how it was the hardest thing he's ever written. And he's like, he has no idea how Bruno Redondo did the artwork for it. But it's all told through like first person perspective. I thought that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And this is some truth right here. These deluxe editions, but I'm okay with no deluxe editions until we have like, I don't want to get a bit like burned on owning the deluxe editions and then them stopping them, even though it's Tom Taylor, you know. So who knows? Why no 97? Is 97 not included in volume 3, or is it part of a crossover?
Seems like there's a missing issue between 3 and 4.
Really? Let me double check. It could be part of a crossover too. But while I check that, Dark Knights of Steel, that's another Tom Taylor book.
Such a great book.
It's fun.
So fun.
This is a fun book. I like this one. And if y'all aren't reading it, it's a take on the Justice League.
It's so great.
Medieval. Battlefield Bloodhaven's Heart. I don't even see the content for that yet. The Invisibles, book 2, coming out in hardcover. So this is a new edition. So these were deluxe editions, I want to say. Oh, I think they're reprinting them as Black Label now instead of Vertigo. Vixen, Volume 3. Another man, they're really putting their money down on this Webtoons thing. Good for them. Justice League, Volume 2, United Order. Collecting Justice League 64 through 71. This is a trade paperback. This is the Brian Michael Bendis era. So there we go. And that's it. That's all. That's all there is. Let me stop sharing, then we can go talk about our most wanted book for a second.
Oh boy, there's so much. This was awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot in this catalog, which makes me really happy. And if you're used to watching like my Marvel solicitations for the month, it may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot for DC. I will say that it is a lot for DC, and that makes me happy that we're getting a lot of these books. So, like I always do whenever I do these type of videos, what's one book you're most excited for, gentlemen? And anybody in the chat, what is the one book you're most excited for out of this catalog? Jess, I already know. Is that Batman or Superman versus
Superman Meshy?
Meshy. Yeah, that's all you. I know, dude. Is it that Silver Age book that you talked about, Jess?
The Batman Silver Age book? I'm sorry, Superman
Silver Age book. Would that be what you're most excited for?
As much as I love almost everything, including the question, yeah, you're right, because that gives me hope that they're going to start putting out more and more of those Silver Age ones. And once we can get, I know I keep saying this, but nobody knows how great Batman was from 1968 through 1974 with Dennis O'Neil starting around 1970, because Neil Adams went back and messed with the artwork so much. But if this gives me hope that now with Batman Silver Age and Superman Silver Age started, if they can get 2 of these a year or something, before I die, I will finally get to see those collected in omnibus format, and everybody will know how revolutionary Neil Adams' artwork was in the Batman run as it was originally, and how Bar, you're a little late. And how and in Superman, how interesting the Kryptonite Nevermore series, Superman became once Kryptonite. They rebooted him with that famous Neil Adams cover and said Kryptonite Nevermore, or whatever it was, Kryptonite No More, with him breaking the chains. That started a really interesting storyline with great Kurt Swan and Murphy Anderson artwork that went on for a while. So it's a long way of just saying, it gives me hope that now they're done with the golden age, they can start pumping these out. Because that's when DC got really fun and interesting, because they were so hung up on the Batman 66 stuff, those comics, and then they go right into the Neil Adams when it just sort of shook everybody up. And he had such realistic artwork, and the storyline got with Ra's al Ghul and stuff. And like the issue before that, he was fighting the Grasshopper Gang, and it was weird stuff like that. It just got more interesting and more, not mature, but more realistic. It started to be, I think, what everybody loved about DC, what everybody loved about Marvel before, that's what DC finally became, with grittier stories that teenagers and adults would get into, and not just 8-year-olds. And that's when everybody's going to see why DC was so cool back then, and why they're really good stories to be told. Sorry, I took up all the oxygen there. I apologize.
You're good, man. You're good. I asked the question. It's really nice to get this inside look as to why you're excited about a particular book. Is there a chance for Swamp Thing? Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would come out with the original colors, just so people that have the absolutes will rebuy it. Just caught up with the stream. Wow, DC looks like they're making a comeback. It's good. It's a great start, I think. And I'm just going, as you were saying, as you were talking about why you're excited about this book, I'm just going through what people are excited about, and it's really nice. It's a huge difference here. What about you, Johnny? What are you most excited for, buddy?
Before I answer that real quick, one of those comments was a question about a Dark Knight Returns Deluxe Edition. There actually is. I believe it's the 30th anniversary edition. It is actually a deluxe hardcover. Yes. I do think it does include the second, whatever, Strikes Again or Dark Knight. But it is technically the deluxe edition, so you should look into that. I'm going to go Spy vs. Spy, man. A little off the beaten path there. So as a kid, my introduction to Spy vs. Spy was Mad TV, the TV show, not the magazine. Right. So I always enjoyed those segments. And then I do vaguely remember as a kid at one of the local libraries, there was a small, I guess, collected edition when I was a kid, trade paperback or something with a few of the stories, but I've never read them extensively. So it's so random too. Like, who thought that was going to be in this catalog? I love that. I'm stoked on this book. That's my answer.
Nice.
It's a good answer.
Wait, one real quick. Real quick to Jess, I really like this. One of my goals lately, the last month, has been picking up a lot of the single issue Neil Adams Batman and Detective comics, because I want to see the artwork as it was intended and not in the recolored version. So
Yeah.
I did recently pick up not the first appearance of Man-Bat, but the sequential 3 issues with Man-Bat. Dude, they're beautiful. You're right about everything that you said about his artwork.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're digging it. That's
Very
great. Are they
what about you?
expensive? Are they pricey?
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, because it's all relative, and I always like I don't mind spending like $100 on a single issue, knowing I'm gonna read it.
You're gonna read that?
I just
CGC that.
That's what I'm saying, and I get that, and I'm not being a jerk. That's the reaction I get. People are like, that's insane. I'm like, well, that's where I'm at in life and what I can do, and I don't have kids. And shit.
That's how I was with Flash,
Yes.
Silver Age Flash before the Omnibus editions. If you wanted to read it, you had to buy the old comics for $20 a piece or whatever they were.
You're going to read them
before they got collected in Omnibus. And if you're spending that and enjoying the comic, then that's money well spent, I think.
I would agree. So,
what about you, Aaron? What are you most excited for, buddy?
Well, Super Sons Expanded Edition, New Edition. I used to have that one, and you're right. It is super wholesome. No pun intended, but very wholesome, very awesome. I love the cover, love the artwork by Jorge Jimenez. Patrick Gleason, of course, Carlo Barberi. I mean, and to me, this is kind of like a representation of just how I hope things go, because I hope that I can end up being a father this year. So,
that's wonderful, man.
Thank you. And so, Lord says the same. Then, this would be a way a book to have to show future kids. So that's kind of
definitely a good one. That is for sure. I'm glad you enjoyed it too, man. I'm a big fan of that run. And for me, Batman Adventures. Nothing's popped up that has got me this excited. Yes, question 2. Awesome. It could have been better, but I don't care. This right here was that time when everything was dark and broody for Batman, and this came out. So cool. Loved it. So I'm really nice surprise. It gives me hope that things like this, DC will see and be like, okay, we can expand what we think is actually a good series that we can put in omnibus format, because we just did a freaking comic book based on a cartoon. So let's keep moving with different ideas instead of just everything Batman, which it feels like, even though this is Batman Adventures, I hope they expand it to other things like Flash and Superman and Aquaman. There's characters that need a lot of love in this format. So yeah.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm most excited for. It was a nice surprise, and hopefully we'll get some more surprises before end of the week. So at this moment, I just want to say, if you want some of these books, when they go up for pre-order, keep in mind this is just the catalog. The solicits will come. When the solicits come, then you can start pre-ordering books. Check out cheapgraphicnovels.com. They have books up to 50% off of cover price. Tell them the Urban Condition sent you their way for free shipping on your next order after your first order. But that's it. And I love clicking through here. You didn't even look at the catalog. Art? I'm most excited for whatever Harley and Harvey and let's see here. DC getting into printing, reprinting Silver Age Omnis. Would appreciate a reprint of Silver Age Legion of Superheroes. You are speaking Jeff's language.
Yeah. Also Jess.
Yes. Now I'm going to go round table where you can find these wonderful folks online, or if you want to follow them. Jess, where can people find you when you're not hanging out with me?
OmniDogs Vault on YouTube, OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram, and Monday and Wednesday nights I am on Omnibros at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for having me here on Very Fine Condition. This has been fun.
Are dead to me. I do not want a Devin Grayson Nightwing Omnibus. No way. I would buy it. Yes, I would buy it. All right. Oh man, that story. Oh geez, there were some bad decisions made there. Aaron, what about you, buddy? Are you online anywhere, or do you work on anything?
I am. Yes, I am on Facebook, of course, under my given name. Twitter, I'm _AC_design 22. I think it's 2022. And I am on Instagram as Aaron Cobbs. Yes, based off the Key and Peele joke.
Hey, Aaron, that's good. I like that.
As far as what I'm working on, just comic stuff. I mean, I'm just here, I've got a big old Spider-Man shelf, huge Spider-Man fan, so working on reading that. If you ever want to know anything about the web slinger, I'm your man. So
if you want to, I didn't catch that last part.
Oh, I'm saying if you ever want to know anything about Spider-Man, I'm your guy.
Good. I think I will be stealing you as a guest for my channel, and we'll talk Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
That sounds fun.
Give him false information, burn his channel to the ground. That's step number 3. And like you, Johnny, where can people find you, buddy?
Right now, the best spot is Instagram at Dying Breed Collectors. I'm also usually all over the country at the conventions. Next one I'm doing is going to be Fan Expo in Chicago. That's not until August, but I did get confirmation yesterday that I will have a double wide booth, which I had when I met you I always point in the wrong direction. In North Carolina, I had a double booth, but that's the only other time I've done that. So I'm excited about that setup. And then, yeah, there you go. Find me on there.
Awesome. And I'm Omar. I'm out of here. Got to take my dad to the doctor. I just want to thank everybody for joining us. Hit that like button on the way out. Thank you to my wonderful guests. Today, big thank you to Aaron for helping me put this freaking slideshow together. Could not have done this without him. And everybody go and check out these folks. Have a great rest of the day.
Peace and love.